Welcome to the breakdown recorded August 11th, 2020. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world that you may not have heard about and give you my opinion. Now, these are my opinions. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out our show notes down below. I'll put a link to each story there so you can read about them for yourself and let me know what you think. Now, if you're new here, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you discover something new. Well, I am finally back home in the studio. Absolutely excited to be back here, get back to more regular scheduled videos, and hopefully producing more content. Hang in there with me. But let's dive into it for today and take a look at some stories. Starting off with Amazon looking to buy up some vacant malls across the United States. Malls have been dying. There's a lot of vacant ones in different locations, and Amazon has been working very hard to buy them up. Now Amazon's also looking to buy up empty Sears, JCPenney stores, and more to turn them into fulfillment centers. Often these malls are in prime real estate locations, and often they're close to highways, interstates, with built-in loading docks and more. This makes them perfect for distribution centers. They may not be as perfect for some of their large custom-built distribution centers, but as smaller ones to offer, same-day delivery, basically as a delivery hub for all their vans and trucks and more. They're perfect because they're right in the neighborhoods. They're right by a highway for the delivery trucks. They often have the loading docks and more already there. And malls have a whole behind-the-scenes warehouse system too, which is a pretty nice addition there to see for Amazon to try to buy them up. You add in the fact that these foreclosures, Sears, JCPenney, and more shutting down stores means the real estate is probably fairly cheap right now with everything happening. And this is a perfect opportunity for Amazon to pick it up. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. But Amazon's definitely moving to try to be more local, to say, hey, we can get you that product same day, next day, and more better by doing moves like this. Does it concern you? What do you think about your local mall turning into an Amazon fulfillment center? I'd love to hear from you. All right, so we know with everything happening in the world, disinfectants are extremely hard to come by, but you may be surprised by how much the sales have gone up. According to Clorox, demand for its disinfectant wipes has gone up 500%. Now, I will say in Clorox, they've recently been doing a very good job. When I've gone out to big box stores, it's been surprisingly easy to find some. Now, it's not always the name brand, sometimes the generic brand. This does make me wonder though, if Clorox is up 500%, what about Lysol and these other brands that make disinfectant wipes and products? It'll be interesting to see how that plays out over the next few years. Will we see a gradual decline in demand? But I predict that we'll see this continue to rise overall, though. That sales will stay above their previous marks, even once this current pandemic is over. Someday it will be. It will come to an end someday. I know it feels like it'll be forever from now. Be interesting, though, to see how that plays out. How high will that be? Will other players move into the markets? And it's kind of one of those things where there's a market, there's always somebody looking to jump into it. Speaking of markets that people are looking to jump into, homemade products have had a huge boom. The mom and pop type shops working out of their homes, building or sewing face masks and more, have turned Etsy's storefront into $346 million worth of face masks sold from homemade sellers. That's huge. Forget all the face masks you buy out. Big box stores and big box websites. Etsy, the website designed for small independent sellers to move their products, sold over $346 million worth of face masks so far this year. 4 million people came to Etsy for face masks right there. It's pretty impressive to see that number there and grow. Have you bought face masks on Etsy? Let me know. I love Etsy. I've bought quite a few things from the house. Did not buy a face mask there though. But I did buy some from a family friend who was making face masks. We bought some earlier on when they were very hard to find. So let me know, does it surprise you? Are you selling on Etsy? Did you make face masks? I know some friends who did go out there and start producing them. And it definitely made a big difference in their sales. It's very interesting to see how the economy can respond to these kind of things. People have the ability to go out there, not just make them and sell them to their friends now, but to say, hey, I'm going to put them on Etsy, I'm going to put them on eBay, I'm going to put them wherever, sell them, and have this huge market of people all over the world. Something that wasn't possible really before the internet. You maybe would have got your product into a catalog and waited for that catalog to ship and then wait for mail orders to come back in. It's a lot different nowadays. Kind of really interesting, kind of love the fact that everything here has grown the way it is and changed. All right, if you ever wondered how powerful Microsoft Excel is, apparently it's this powerful that it got scientists to rename human genes because they got sick of Microsoft Excel trying to translate the gene name into a date format. So apparently these genes were formatted very similar to dates that Excel recognizes, and it would keep converting them. Now, somebody who used to use Excel a lot, I can tell you that sometimes the autocorrects, autocompletes, autofills are painful and they're surprisingly difficult to keep turning off because you email a document to somebody, they open it up, their settings take over, and now you got the formatting all off again. So scientists have decided, we're not going to bother trying to fight with Microsoft over this. We're just going to change the format, the names of these genes so we don't have to deal with that anymore. There's a really great article from The Verge about this if you want to read more about it. I thought it was hilarious that Microsoft could be that powerful. Speaking of hilarious, a man in England proposed his girlfriend using candles. He set up candles all over his apartment to have a romantic candlelit proposal. Unfortunately, he accidentally burned their apartment to the ground almost, severely damaging their apartment and destroying most of their belongings. Albert was less than successful in his proposal, but she did still say yes. So, ladies, would you still marry your husband if he burnt down all your stuff in an attempt to propose to you? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I know we talked about this last week, about the shortage of Coke products and Pepsi products. Well, Dr. Pepper is been having an equal hard time, and this has led to one nursing home person asking for Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper products have been definitely in short supply recently, but don't worry, Dr. Pepper sent a pallet of 16 cases of Dr. Pepper to a Gatesville, Texas nursing home person there who's been desperately looking for their Dr. Pepper, and they got them covered. Dr. Pepper has been one of the more harder hit companies when it comes to dealing with the aluminum shortage, the supply shortage, and the distribution issues getting products to stores. And they say they're continuing to work on it, but it looks like for at least one nursing home resident, they got their wish and they now have a large supply of Dr. Pepper. All right, Houston. Do you live in Houston, Texas? Yeah, this may affect you if you live in other cities too, but Houston's a good example. They're starting to crack down on unpaid parking fines, speeding tickets, and more by preventing residents from renewing their licenses if they still have unpaid tickets. Now, because of this, a study has said that 550,000 drivers in Houston, Texas will now be unable to renew their licenses until they pay back parking tickets. And some of these people have back parking tickets from years ago that they're still not paying them. Now, it's very interesting. You see colleges do this. Hey, you want to get your college degree? Guess what? You have fines, you have fees. You have to actually pay them before we'll release your college degree. And to a point, I get it. You can't have 550,000 people. If the average ticket price is let's say $100. You do the math. That's a lot of money for a city like Houston to be missing out on. But do you agree with them preventing you from renewing your driver's license because of unpaid tickets? Do you have a better idea on how you like to enforce unpaid tickets right there? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Well, that's it for today. I got big plans. It's good to be home, settling back in, trying to relax. It's really good to be here. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all okay. I know I had some family in Iowa that was hit very hard by those storms last night. So if you were hit by those torrential downpours and very high winds, I hope you're okay. I hope everything quickly gets back to normal. Thanks for your support, everybody. If you're new here and you're watching me for the first time. Don't forget, I'm also on Twitter where I do a lot more stories like this, a lot more interactions. I'll put a link to my Twitter account down in the show notes down below. I hope you all take care. Be safe. I will see you again real soon.